So good afternoon, students. Our topic will be going on that is the IP addressing. So basically, what is IP address? That is our system's logical address. Because we have two different types of address. One is physical address and another one is logical address. Because physical address is our system's MAC address. One is physical address. That is your system's MAC address. That is permanent. We cannot change. And another one is logical address. Logical address, that means our IP address. That is not permanent. We can change at any time. Whenever we required, we can change our system's IP address, or sometimes the DNS, those who are providing IPs, they can also change our system's IP address. So these two types are the addresses we have. So our topic, that is the IP addressing. IP addressing, because we are having two different types of, it's not a type, that is the version of two different IP address. One is IPv4 and another one is IPv6. So these two types of IP address we have. One is IPv4 and another one is IPv6. So IPv4, that means we are talking about the specifically for, that is for 32 bytes. The address length of IPv4, that is 32 bytes. And in the case of IPv6, that is 128. So this is a major difference between IPv4 and IPv5. So in previous lecture, we learned about the IP address, how we can assign the IP address, what will be the subnet mask, or how we can we already learned about these all binary conversions, how we can convert the IP address from decimal number to binary number. Because we learned this topic, binary conversion, with the help of BCD code, that is binary coded decimal. We already learned this, the classes, because we are having 4 different types of classes. A, B, C, D, and E. These are the 5 classes, but most of the time we use first 3 classes, class A, B, and C. So this is all about the some IP addresses, that is the private IP address, special addresses. And another one is the IP communication, how we can assign the IP address to a particular system, or we are having different 2 network here. One network that belong from the first IP address, that is 192.168.1.1. Another that is belong from another network, 192.168.2.1. One is 1.1 and another one is 2.1. That means we are having 2 different networks. And after that, we learn about the subnet mask, because our subnetting is dependent upon the subnet address. So subnet address, you people must know about, because we use first 3 classes, class A, class B, and class C. So you people must know about the default subnet mask of every class. So suppose we have class A, class B, and class C. So when we are talking about the class A, we have a range. The class A, that is from 10 to 126, and class B, that is 128 to 191. Then class C, that is 192 to 223. We have 3 classes, and these are the range. Range, that means range that is specifically for the first octet value. First octet value. Suppose we have a IP address 117.110.111.1. So suppose this is a IP address of any PC. How we can find out from which this IP address is belonging? We always see our system first octet value. So this, in this case, the first octet value is 117. So 117 that belong from class A, because range of class A that is from 0 to 126, and for class B 128 to 191, and one C for 192 to 223. So first octet value is 117. That means this IP address is belong from class A. And after that, our subnet mask, default subnet mask, that is dependent, that depends upon the class type. So if a class type is A, the default subnet mask is 255.0.0.0. So this is a default subnet mask for class A. And this subnet mask that tells the one we are having the network ID, and other one is host ID. So in this subnet mask, we have one first octet that is a network ID, and rest of the three are host IDs. That means when we required number of hosts, more number of hosts, on that time we use class A, because in this case we are having mostly the host IDs. In this case we are having a single octet that is specifically for the network ID. Next, that is class B. Class B, that is specifically for the in this case we are having subnet mask, default subnet mask is 255.255.0.0. So this is a default subnet mask of class B. In this case we are having two network ID and two host ID. Host ID 1 and host ID 2. And network, and another octet is active network. In the case of class C, we are having default subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. So this is just default subnet mask of class C. In this case, we are having three network ID and single host ID. That means we are having three octet as a network ID and one octet that is specifically for host ID. That means when we required a large network, on that time we use class C network ID. So as shown in the PPT, that again that tells you that IP address is belong from class C, because that started from first octet value is 192. So this class is belong from class C, and default subnet mask is 255.255.0. So next, the default subnet mask, that is we already learned about this. Next one is address planning. Address planning of the particular, because we are having some network address and broadcast address. Because we have two different type of two addresses, that is network address, one is broadcast address. We cannot assign network address as a IP address. We cannot assign broadcast address as a IP address. That is why we always write valid host ID is 2 raised to the power n minus 2. Next is scenario based, and in this case, suppose in this case, because in previous lecture we just learned about the up to VLSM calculation. So basically, what is VLSM? VLSM, that is a variable length subnet mask. This is our VLSM. So that means we are talking about the classless IP address. So we will use VLSM is used to save the IP address. That is specifically for why we are using this. That is specifically for save the IP address. In the case, in this case, we are taking the example of mask 128. As shown in the PPT, subnet mask is 255.255.255.128. Here we use 128 as a subnet mask address. That means we are not assigning default subnet mask to this IP address. We just change the address because right now we are using VLSM calculation. 128, that means we are talking about the 7-bit value. Okay, because a single octet that maximum contained value is 255. But right now we are talking, we just take the example in the case of 128. That means we just assign 7-bit to this octet and 8th bit that moves to the network ID. Okay, so that is why as shown in the PPT, that tells the 120 is this last octet value of. So here there is an example that is host address is 2 raised to the power n. What is n? N, that means total number of your bits. Total number of your bits. Total number of bits are 7 in this case. That means n is having the power of n is equal to 7. That means 2 raised to the power 7. That is 128. That is 128. So after that, because we have two different address that we cannot assign as IP address. One is network address and host address. So we just remove 2 from this given. That means 128 minus 2 is equal to 126. What is 2? 2, that is one for network address and another one for broadcast address. And valid, we have address is valid IP address. These are all the valid ID, or we can say that valid IP address. Okay. So what is the range of IP address for this particular subnet mask? So we have the range for IP address. What is the length of the IP address when we assign the 128 as a subnet mask in this software? So the range of IP address is 192.168. From 1.0 to 126. Sorry, from 1 to 126. 1 to 126 is a valid IDs. These are the valid ID address. Okay. So after that, we are having the examples of another VLSMs. Because we assign IP address as a with the help of slash notations also. Sometimes you people see on our internet some IDs are written over there with slash notations. These all are the classless IP address, or we can say that PLSM IP address. So I'm going to tell you about some examples that are related to this subnet mask, where we just assign the particular address to a particular group. Suppose we have an IP address. Suppose we have IP address 192.168.1.7/26. What does it mean? That means in this case, we first we find the n value. First we find the n value. So how we can find the n value? N is equal to, what is the total length of this address? That is 32 bytes. Because each octet that contain 8 bits, 8 bit, 8 bit, 8 bit, and 8 bit. So this is all about the 32 bit. So length is 32. Then after that, how we can find the n value? 32 minus 26 is equal to 6. 32 minus 26, this is slash notation, is equal to 6. That means n is equal to 6. What does it mean? 2 raised to the power 6. 2 raised to the power 6 means 64. That means we can assign IP address in a single group. That is, maximum length is 64. How we can assign the IP address to this particular 64? What is the range of this IP address? So range of this IP address that belongs from this IP range is 192.168.1. From 0 to 168.1.63. This is total 64-bit single group. So single group contain the maximum value of 64. And this is the range of IP addresses. So this is our first block. This is our first block. If you want to extend or if you want to create another block, you will start for another block, that is 192.168.1.64, 192.168.1.128. So this is our second block value, second block for IP addresses. Okay, now I am taking another example. If you people are not understand this example, I am taking another example. So I'm going to take another example. Suppose we are having IP address 200, 100, 150.160/28. And right now I am going to use slash notation with 128. So first step is to find the n value. So how we can find the n value? That is, n is equal to 32 minus 28. And what will be the value for that? That is 4. 4. That means n is equal to 4 means 2 raised to the power 4 means 16. So this is a 16 range. That means we can assign maximum 8-bit. Sorry, maximum 16. 16 means only 4-bit values. So we can assign IP address. First block for this IP address, that is 200, 100, 150.0 to 200, 100, 150.15. So this is our first block. So this is our first block. And how we can calculate our second block? The second block, that is 200, 100, 150 from 16, 200, 100.150.31. So this is our second block. Okay. So now I'm going to give you one exercise. One 150.100.15.160/18. With this, I'm just going to launch our first pool question. is all about the first poll questions, and stop sharing the result. Okay, I'm just going to take example for this. So we have the example. It is 150.10.160/18. So what does it mean? So first, that means we have to find the value of n. So how we can find the value of n? N is equal to 32 minus 18 is equal to, what is the value for that? That is 14. 14, that means n is equal to 2 raised to the power 14. Here is a question mark, because our single octet contain how many bits? 8 bits. But right now we just find the 14 bits. That means we have to take some bits from another octet. How we can find out this? So that means we find 2 raised to the power 8 from first octet. And what about the another 6? 2 raised to the power 6 for second octet. Second octet value. That means first octet value is belong from this. That means from 0 to 255. And what about the 2 raised to the power 6? That becomes from 2 raised to the power. It's 2 raised to the power 6. That is specifically for 64. Okay. So what is the first block value for this address? What is the first block value? So block value for this, that is 150.0.150.150.63.255. This is the first block value for this IP address. How it will come? I'm going to explain again. We find n value. How we find n value? N is equal to 32. 32 means the total length of the IP address V4. What is 18? 18 is our slash notation. Slash notation, that means 32 minus 18 is equal to 14. 14, that means our single octet that contain maximum value is 8 bit. That means we need 6 bit from second octet value. Means 2 raised to the power 8 from first octet. That means that is the value is from 0 to 255, because this complete octet that is particular assigned for the subnet address, and rest of the 6 that is specifically for another octet. Means we are having 8 octet value in second octet, 8-bit value. So first 6-bit value that goes to the given IP address, and this 2 that goes to the network address. So this one is the first block value. So first block value, how it will come? 0 0. Why 0 0? Because first is a 0, second again 0. And what is the maximum length for second octet value? So maximum length for second octet value is 64. So 64, that means from 0 to 63. And what about the last octet value? That is from 0 to 255. That is from 0 to 255. So this is our first block value. And what about your second block value? Second block value that comes from 150, 100, 64, from 0 to 150.127.255. So this is our second block value. So this is our second block value. So this is a way to assign IP address in the block format with the help of slash notations. Hope you people are understand this slash notation. If still there is doubt, you just raise your hand if there is still there is doubt. So okay, I'm just going to take another example. So again, next example that is specifically for two block values. In that case, we need two block values. So suppose we have an IP address of 200.100.50.25/21. So /21 is a, again, in this case we use more than two block values. So more than one block value. So first we have to find the n value. N is equal to 32 minus 21 is equal to 11. Again, our n's value is 11. That is more than 8 bit. So that means last octet value that contain 2 raised to the power 8 plus 2 raised to the power 3. 2 raised to the power 8 and 2 raised to the power 3. So what does that mean? 2 raised to the power 3, that is specifically for 8 bit value, and plus from 0 to 255. Why from 0 to 255? That means it's a complete block. Complete block value. Complete block value. So what is the first octet value for this given IP address? That is 200 100.0.0 200.100.8. That means so maximum value that goes to 7.255. So this is our first block value. First block value. Why 7 here? Because in this case we are having maximum value is 8. So maximum value from 0 to 7, or from 0 to 7, that is 8. Okay, so this is our another example of class C subnet masks. So next, after that, we have some questions. We will discuss later on these questions. So next is VLSM case scenarios. In this case, we have two different networks. We already studied it, because if few people are required minimum or maximum length in a particular group, or on that time we use the slash notations. In the given PPT, that tells you using only the network address for 192.168.1/for 24. And this is implemented with the help of VLSM, because this is our classless IP address. Because when we are talking about the classful IP address, on that time we cannot change our system's IP address by default block values. So when we required different block values, on that time, or we use the VLSM, or we can say that they are slash notations. So next we have classless IP address. So in that case, first and last IP, that is 10.20.24.0.0/22. And other block is /24. So on the right side of router, there are, that is the alag different LAN, and from left side that is another IP address. So that is depends upon the user to user, what they want in a single block, what are the maximum value they want to in a single block. Next one is IP gateway. So why gateway? Because default IP functions, all the methods which are going to the network. There are three. We can say there are two networks. One is L2 and another one is L3 there. L2 and L3 in a given network. So L2 is another local area network in the case of diagram as shown in the PPT, and L3 is another local area network. If you transfer data on the same network, that time you don't need any gateway, because when gateway is required, that time when you want to communicate with for different network, because whenever we use our local area network, on that time we are not required to assign any gateway address to this any particular PC. So when we are talking about the different network, on that time we need our some gateways for the better communication. So, but over the different network, we have some default gateways. So default gateway is 192.168.1.253 and 192.168.2.253. Suppose this is our the default gateway address. So layer 2 that needs specifically the gateway address. As shown in the diagram, layer 2 need to assign some gateway address. Why they need some gateway address? Because on that on the given diagram they use some routers there. So there is a router in between two PCs. So on that means we are talking about the router. That means we are having the two different networks. Because router, that means we are connecting two different networks. So on that time we need some gateway address. So next we have the IP fragmentation, because we already discussed about all the flags, what it is exactly. So next one is time to live. We already discussed this time to live, but I'm just going to tell you about the little bit explanation about TTL value. So TTL value, that is time to live, is every packet they need some TTL value. Why they need some TTL value? Because if we are not going to assign any TTL value to the particular packet, so that packet will create a loop. It will create a loop. It means it work or it moves around the if we are using switches or routers, they are moving each another and they are connecting. They also create some traffic or some packets. So on that time we use TTL value. So next we have protocol field. So protocol fields, I'll tell the basically it will use for the communication purpose, because we need some protocols for better communication. Basically we can say that the bookish language that tells in the case of protocol, that is our set of rules. Protocol, that means it's a set of rules. So next we have some questions. First question is, what is the IP subnet mask used for? So this is specifically for the So another question is, how are gateway used in IP network? So there is only one gateway address to forward the IP address to remote network. Before further moving, I'm just going to launch another pool question, or our second pool question. I'm going to discuss these questions with you. So we have first question, that is two end stations in a point-to-point network platform address resolution. That means your ARPs. Which of the following statement is correct? So first is the destination address of an for a request for each station will be unicast MAC address. This is a wrong answer. Second, that is the destination address of an ARP request for each station will be a broadcast IP address. Again, it's a wrong choice. So third, that is the destination address of an ARP that reply from the each station, that will be the unicast MAC address. So this is the correct answer. So I'm just going to explain the IP fragmentation again. That is the IP fragmentation. So IP fragmentation, in this case, we use different fields are there. So in that case, the minimum length, that is the 20 bytes, and maximum, that is 60 bytes. So the basic version, if we are talking about the first field, that is your whether we are using IPv4 and IPv6. So this is about the version part. And second, that is header length. Header length, that tells the length of the header. Length of the header. And another field is TS field. So DS field, that is specifically for the different server, that the type of a packet and the quality of the service. So that tells you specifically for the quality of service. What is the need of quality of service? When we required quality of service. So when we required the quality of service, that means when we are talking about the audio transformation or video conferencing, on that time we need high resolution or high quality of service. Next length is the total length. So total length, that tells the total length of the IP header plus data field. So this is about the total length. Then after that, the identification part. So identification part, that this field is used to uniquely identify a group of fragments in a single IP packet. So this is about the identification part. Another one is flags. So flags, that is the control for fragments. And fragment offset, this offset provides the location of the fragments. Location of the fragment in the original IP packets. Another one is TTL, that is time to live. Time to live is every packet is must with some TTL value. Why we required the TTL value? To avoid the looping statement, to avoid the looping in the network. Another one is protocol field. Protocol field, we already discussed about that. It's the set of rules. Set of rules. What type of rules? The communication, for better communication. You can say that better communication for our endpoint. Another field, that is header checksum. So header checksum, that is specifically for the use for error checking of the entire header. for entire header. Another one is source IP address. When we are sending some packet to the destination, on that time, your IP address also travel to the network. So that is your source IP address. When you want to communicate with your destination, you must need some IP address or some kind of URL address of the destination where you send to the packet. So that is the destination IP address. Another one is the IP option. So IP option, this field is the optional field. So optional field, that is like for the security, for we can say that IPsec, that is for IP security, or we can say that for timestamps. So this is all about the IP header. So okay, so now I am going to launch another pool question. Again, this pool question that is belong from your current topic. We can say that today's topic. So I'm stop sharing the screen, and this is all about our IP addressing topic. So if you people are having any doubts, you can just raise your hand and we will discuss these questions. Allow to access your gallery, allow to access your location, allow to access your mobile contacts. So then okay, students, thank you and take care.